missed us. So, okay.
Rabbi Stein, just one quick question. Given some of the dafim we've had recently, I'm in the car with the wife and kids. Is this one kosher?
Not Tilamet Beis. Tilamet Beis, it's
Okay, you just let me know if it's going to get dicey.
Yes, it definitely will get dicey. On Amid Beis, it will get quite interesting.
Okay.
What's today's daf? 12? Where we got up to the Mishnah, right? Okay. Yeah, the second half has got an interesting Gemara. What should I tell you? Okay, so Zog the Mishnah, yeah. So these are the women that are usher to eat truma. So we, again, just to chazer over, we said that the woman, when she becomes when she has stira with the guy, then she becomes usher to have truma. But if he just tells her don't speak to this guy and she speaks to the guy, then it's not. Then she's not usher to truma. Right? Meaning a truma is assuming that her husband is a kohen. Correct? I mean, that's one way of it. So, but here we have a bunch that are also b'truma. If she says that she's tamei, meaning she admitted that she is that she was mezana, right? Now the question is, okay, so then what? So what is what's there to talk about if she says she's tameya? Right? Now we have in the Gemara at the end of Nedarim, Taisus asks it. There is a machlokes whether she's believed to Asher from Taisus or Imeris. There is a machlokes whether she's believed about that. Right? So here it seems that the Mishnah seems to be saying that it's pashut that she's believed. So we say that here we're talking about after Kina and Stira. So after Kina and Stira, then she's more believed. Okay, V'shabo Adam she tameya. Adam came and said she's tamei. Right, so obviously once Adam comes, so that's it. Right? And Taisus actually declares whether it means Adam or it can be even an Eid Echad. And a woman says she's not going to drink, meaning she's mechuyev to drink the drink, but she says she's not going to drink. Right, so then she has to stop eating truma. Or if her husband says he doesn't want her to drink, right? Or if the husband is together with her on the way up to the Beis Hamikdash, right? That would be the last case, meaning they're going up to the Beis Hamikdash to take the drink, and once the husband's together with her, she is out from the drink. Okay, so that's the list of the things that she would become asa b'trum. Fine. So and this thing Rav Sheshes told us, and he cleared our eyes. That's a literal translation, right? Like Sagi Nar. He lit up our eyes with this from our Mishnah. What did he say? If you have a saita who has witnesses in Medina Sayyam, the water does not search her, my timer. Meaning, if there are witnesses anywhere in the world that knew whether she was taka with her husband or not, so then it will not be not her husband with this other guy, then the water won't work. My timer, says that she was hidden and she became tamei, and there was no aid. The lek of the yadava, that means that nobody knew about it because it was hidden. It comes to exclude this, because there's somebody that didn't know about it. So as long as there's people in the world that knew about it, then it's not going to work. Now, what is this? Magic? I'm saying, is this magic based on what Torah say?
Yes.
I mean, that's what it sounds like, right? Because the pasuk says, if there's somebody in the world that knows about it, therefore the water is not going to test her. But I guess the same way that the water will test her is the same way that the magic will. I'm saying, I guess once this water can
It's
test
the
whether she was
participating
done.
party. It's the person she was with. Would be the one that knows about it.
No, Lavdafka. What do you mean? You're asking a question?
The guy who defiled her would know about it. If there's nobody in the world that knows about it, it's not going to work. That means she wasn't defiled.
No, we're talking about Adim who saw them.
Yeah, we're not
Obviously,
talking
the
about-
people who didn't know.
That's what it says. The Leka Diada Ba. There's no one that knows about it. It doesn't say Adim.
No, I don't think it means
No, witnesses.
Where does it say Adim?
before that, a couple lines before that.
Adim bin Medina's Hayam.
Yeah, it's talking about the Edom. It has to be talking about the Edom, right? The Shiloh is maybe Eid Echad. What about Eid Echad? That's what Avi maybe. Right? What's with Eid Echad? Why does it have to be Edom Dafka? Right? Okay, but whatever it is, if there's people that know about it in the world, then she is out. Now the Gemara for the next hour is going to ask questions about this. And he lit up our eyes from our Mishnah, the Ketani, meaning he proved what his point from the Mishnah. The Ketani v'shabo lo Edim shehi tameya, and Edim came and said that she was tamei. To also Edim emas. Now, because we said if Edim come and say she's tamei, she's also to eat truma. Now, when did these Edim come? The tishti. If they came before she drank zainahi, she has a din of a zaina, and there's no drinking. That's a regular standard case. Edim said she was mazana. We're talking about after she drank, right? Now, again, we're gonna see that. What do you mean after she drank? After she drank, so if she was guilty, she blows up, right? So we're gonna see that wasn't so pashut, right? But really, the way
it can't be after she blew up. It's got to be before.
No, I know. I'm saying, but it's not an instant blow up. That's what I'm saying. Right? It's not an instant blow up, because if it was an instant blow up, then there'd be nothing to talk about. Right? So, but the way Rashi says it is that l'chayra she didn't blow up, and Memela looks like okay, she's innocent. Then Adam come and say she's not innocent. Right? That's the way Rashi says it. All right, so and if it's after that, if you say that, okay, the reason why the water failed, meaning you have a problem now. You have the Torah that says if she's guilty and she drinks the drink, she's going to blow up. Now she didn't blow up, and Adam come and say she was mezana. So 1 second, so that means the Torah failed, right? That means the Torah's test that works with Ruach HaKodesh or whatever failed, right? Elamai, you can't say that, right? So meaning, if you say, like Rav Sheshes is saying, that if there's anybody in the world that knows about it, then the water doesn't work. So then we have an explanation why the water doesn't work, right? That's what it means that the Mishnah lit our eyes up from this, right? Again, if you say that the water doesn't check her out, if there's Adam that know about it, so then everything works. So if you say the water works and will make her blow up, even if there's Adam somewhere in the world that know about it, the Sadi Shakri. So then we know for sure the water, meaning who are we going to go with, the Adam or the water? So Gemara is saying the Pashas, we're going to go with the water, not the Adam. So it has to be that the Adam will puzzle, because otherwise she would have blown up. Rabban, what's bothering you?
So they could always say that the water doesn't work. That there's they could always say that there's Adam someplace. The husband's friends can say there's Adam someplace. She's a Zayna. There's Adam someplace. That's all.
I mean, once you say what Rav Sheshes is saying.
Yeah, so she's lost. Even though whatever happened, nobody knows what happened. But they'll always say that there's Adam. That's why it didn't work.
Right. Meaning, so now she drinks it. So it's supposed to make shalom bayis, and she goes home. Then they're gonna say, nah, it must be there's Adam somewhere, right? It's a good kasha. I mean, that's sort of gonna be the Gemara's kasha later, but it doesn't ask it as beferish as that. Right? Well, let's see weiter.
Aren't the brachas, if she's innocent, almost as instantaneous as the klaus?
Seems like that.
So she
But
won't
here
get
we
the
could-
brachas. If there are Adim,
You mean
She
she won't get the brachas? But
Yeah.
but maybe okay. I hear that point. But maybe okay. We're gonna let's see by two. Hopefully it'll get more clear or less clear or whatever. But it's I'll be happy if I come out from the sugya clear what I'm unclear about. That's a certain level of clarity, right? No, if you're clear what you're unclear about, at least you have something. If you're totally unclear, then that's bad. So my goal is to be clear about what I'm unclear. So I'm Rabbi Yosef. Good. So anyway, so that's the proof from our Mishnah. I'm Rabbi Yosef. So no, we're going to say that the water does search her. But we're going to say right now, what do you do with this? She has a schus. Maybe she has a schus that the water, she's really guilty, but the schus is being aimed for her. Right? Now, what does that mean? So what would be the machlokes of Sheshes and Rav Yosef? Whether we say that the water works or not. So bimisnavna, the Rebbe. It's talking about bimisnavna, the Rebbe, which really means the decay. Like the decay that Rebbe was talking about. The Tanan, Rebbe Omer, schus toile b'mayim amar. A schus will help with the bitter waters. Ve'ena yeledes, and she's not going to give birth. Ve'ena mishabeches, and she's not going to grow. Ella misnavna v'leches. What's going to happen is she's going to what do you call it? Wither away, I guess. Is wither away the right touch? I guess. Meaning
She becomes She becomes General MacArthur. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I don't know what that means, but
Okay.
am I missing some history? Is that my yeshiva education?
Yeah, probably.
Or lack thereof? Okay, so Ella.
Where's from 7? It's dark boy.
Anyways, Ella misnamna b'haleches l'soif she meisa b'oisa misa. Eventually, she's going to die from that misa. Right, so that's what Rebbe says. Rosh Hashanah Sovar, Bein LaRebbe, Bein LaRabbanon, Havi Misnamna. Well, whether Rebbe or the Rabbanon, man, she's going to start decaying right away. Right? And our Mishnah clearly is talking about that she didn't start decaying right away. Yeah, so therefore it's not going to be a schus. Yeah, and the Mishnah says that she's going to, even after, again, we're talking about where she took the drink and the Edom came afterwards, right? So it has to be that the Edom made it shvach, made the water shvach. Rav Yosef Savar, the Rebbe Havi Masnavna, according to Rebbe, she's going to decay. She's not going to, right? So basically what we're going to say is that our mission is going according to Rabbana, who hold that she's not going to necessarily decay, right? And the Memela, the Edom are not necessarily going to be slugged up. Yeah, meaning the point is that there's no raya from our Mishnah to Rav Sheshes did. Again, Rav Sheshes said as long as there's Edom somewhere in the world, the water is not going to work. We thought our Mishnah fits perfectly with that. And now it's saying not necessarily. Our Mishnah could go according to the Rabbanim. Okay, so Masiv, now the Gemara is going to ask kashas on Rav Sheshes, ask a few kashas on Rav Sheshes' Chiddush. So Masiv, Rav Shimi Barashi, Rav Shimon Omer, ain't schus toilet b'mayim amarim. There's no schus that's toilet and mayim amarim. Right? He's chaylik on the Rabbanon and Rebbe. He says schus doesn't help. And if you want to say that the schus does help, madcha oisa atam sorry asamayim b'fnei kol hanoshim hashoises. This is sort of what you're saying. This is, I mean, Rabban, you were asking on something else, but this is meaning the Gemara is saying if you're going to say that a woman has a schus and the water won't work, so you're pushing off the whole test from noshim that hashoises. Right? Meaning people are going to drink it. A woman's going to drink it. Officially, she survives. That means she's innocent. People are going to say, no, she had a schus. She had a schus. right? Va'ata and Moitzi Shemra ala Tahira Shashasu. And not only that, but you're going to be Moitzi Shemra on somebody that's Tahir that drank. Hey, no, I'm Timeas Hayu, Ela Shatala Lehen Schus. They're going to say, nah, she's really no good, but she has a schus. Right? Isa, right? Okay, so now what's the kasha? So if what Rav Sheshes is saying is true, Yesh la Eidim Medina Sayam, Nami Atamoitzi Shemra ala Tahira Shashasu. When if you have Eidim in Medina Sayam, that's also going to be Moitzi Shemra. This is which Rabban was really asking before. Meaning, once you start with a loophole that the water doesn't work, so then the whole thing, I was going to say the whole thing blows up, but that's not. that would not be a good.
The whole thing goes underwater.
Yeah. Okay. Right. The whole thing stops working. So that's the kasha. So it can't be that Rav Sheshes is right. So Gemara answers Rav Shimon Kamret. You're asking according to Rav Shimon. Rav Shimon me the schus loitalia edom nami loitalu. You're asking about Rav Shimon. Rav Shimon holds that the schus doesn't work, right? And not only he's going to hold that the schus doesn't work, he's going to hold that edom is not going to work either. Meaning, even if there are edom on the other side of the world that knows about it, he's going to say that it doesn't affect it. Meaning, it sounds to me, to use it as a mushal just to understand it, that Reb Shimon is litfish. That's all. He's saying the water works. Don't bring schusim into it. Don't bring to me two Eidim 10,000 miles away with the schus of this one and that one and all that stuff. I don't want to hear it. The water either works or it doesn't work. You have the other shittas that say, you know, you have schusavas and you have this and you have that. And right? That's the way I look at it.
Big chiddush to say the Heiliger of Shimon's litfish.
That's already a different kasha. Fair enough. You got me on that one. I'm just saying it as a mushal. I'm not saying, I just thought to understand that Reb Shimon's saying the water is the water. Nothing else affects it. Not the Eidim and not the Schlusim. Fine. Now, next kasha. Masav Rav. Ve'elu Shemin Chasem Nisrafas. This we haven't discussed yet, but the Sotah, or the alleged Sotah, we have to say it that way. The alleged Sotah, well, she is a Sotah, I guess. She's defined as a Sotah. Her alleged misdeeds. Also, that's to bring a carbon.
Alleged, she would be a Zaina.
Right, she'd be a Zaina, not a Sotah. Yeah. So, she has to be a carbon mincha, which we're going to see. I don't know in tomorrow's daf, the next daf. That the reason why she brings it's a carbon mincha from barley, because it's animal food. Because since she was giving into her desires like an animal, so Mamela, she brings the animal food as the carbon. It's brought before she drinks, right?
What about all the people who eat barley for matzah? No.
Well, I don't know if anybody has, I don't think they have barley matzah. No. How about all the people that asked if barley is chametz gomer and they have to sell it? So whatever. I mean, cholent. I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know.
Is barley chametz gomer? I know wheat. I know what flour's not.
Oh, Naftali wants to know if barley's chametz gomer. You have barley in your house?
No. Look in the Mishnah if it's kosher for matzahs. The same Mishnah tells you about the spell.
Yeah,
tells you the 5 minim. Look at the 5 minim. Eric Gimel.
most barley is not chametz gomer. But anyways, so Masav Rav, Elushim and Chasem Nisrafas. These are the ones that their mincha becomes burnt. Meaning normally the woman brings the carbon mincha and then she drinks the drink, right? But sometimes we're going to burn it. Meaning the carbon becomes puzzle on Talmud base. Right, so Imeres Tmeani. Let's say the woman said, "I am tummy," meaning she started bringing the carbon mincha. Oh, so let's go before that. Basically, what they did is they take the carbon mincha. It's not an animal, so it's a whole different. There's really 4 steps of bringing a carbon mincha that are the equivalent of the 4 steps of a carbon an animal carbon. Right? How does it go again? The 4 steps. There's shchita, which is right. So what? But how does it work? How does it translate into a carbon mincha? The kmitza, that's the taking the handful out. That's the shchita, right? Then putting it into the bowl is the halacha. Where's the zrika?
No, putting into
Put on the
the
Mizbeach.
Kabbalah, Halacha and Zrika, you
They
have
put
a
it on the
Mizbeach.
Mizbeach.
And then they put on the mizbeach. There you go. That would make sense. Right. So anyway, so those are the four. So what happens is they put it into the kli. Once you put it into the kli shares, then that's as if it's already has kedusha. So they put her carbon mincha into the kli shares, into the utensil, and then she sees that she's the end is near. So then she admits it. So she says she's tummy. Now there's no longer need to bring this carbon, right? Because it's only the carbon is only brought because because of saita. Or v'shabola edim shehi tamei, or edim come and say she's tamei. Also edim emes. The Gemara says, when are edim coming? Right, and this similar question. If you say that they came before they were makdish the carbon, meaning before it went into the utensil, typical chulin. So then there was no kedusha here. Just put it out to chulin, right? Ella lebasa the kaddish. So must be talking about after they already put it into the kli. So now, so if you say that the water will search her, will check her out, so alma bas makadesh umekaravi. She is somebody who can be makadesh the carbon and be makravit, right? V'chi kadesh meikara shaber kadesh. And when she made this carbon kadesh, it was shaper kadesh because it was a possibility. Since the water will check her out, there was a possibility that she's going to have to bring this carbon. And that's why her carbon mincha should be burnt, because meaning even if there are edim somewhere in the world, but since it will check her out, so she's still eligible for the carbon. So when she puts it in there, so then she's when they put it into the klishar, so it's fine. But if you say that the water is not going to check her out if there's edim somewhere, tigli milsa limafreya, why isn't it just tell us limafreya the chikadosh meikara that when she made this carbon kadosh meikara, it ties kadosh? It was a mistake, right? Because meaning if edim come and say that they knew that she was mezana, so that means that the whole saita wasn't a saita to begin with because it wouldn't work, right? Right? It's not if it's not going to if the water's not going to check her out if there's edim, so then that means that the water didn't. That means that this whole carbon was a tais. Once the edim come, so that means the whole thing was a tais from the beginning, and therefore it should go for typical chulin. It should go out to chulin, right? Yeah. So I guess that just Jesse, this is the interesting part, but it does not really not so graphic, but it's interesting. I can tell you that. No. We're talking about she was mezana in the Beis Hamikdash, right? Go figure that. Yeah, meaning after she put the carbon mincha into the kli, so now it's kedusha. That she's mezana, and I mean she's being mezana in the Beis Hamikdash. So of course there's edim, right? Of course there's edim that are going to see it, and the edim come and say,
presumably with the guy that was Kineas Stira. So the husband and the guy went up with her.
Why do you say that?
it could be either
Because
one.
the Maim's only baidik on the Stira. If
No,
this is a
it's
news
two-
nos,
It's a news,
then it has no shaykhs to the Mayim.
right? No,
Oh my God.
she's drinking because of a.
Now she's in it. She says, what the heck? Once you already accused me already, I might as well go and,
Could be. Maybe she knew she was guilty, so she might as well enjoy it. Saying, but no, we're talking about she's drinking for a previous relationship. Then she's makriv the carbon. Well, she's not makriv it. She's makdish the carbon, right? She's makdish the carbon, and then she's mazana, and then there's edim on that, right? That's what it is.
So the kasha is on the Mayim baitkin. Either the Mayim is only baidik on the Stira.
One second. The chikadosh meikara shaper kadosh. The carbon was behektish. She's not going to bring it anymore because it's not negeya. She's mezana, so she's done. But the original carbon is still a legitimate carbon. Right? There's no reason to give her the water. She's out anyways from this marriage. So there's no point to giving her the water. So the question is, what's with the original kedusha of the carbon? that kedusha should remain because that carbon was brought legitimately. There were no edim for that, right? So that's what it's saying. Okay, so Maskal or Mashashi, how could she be mizana? You have the Pirchei Kahuna, the young Kehanim, are accompanying her wherever she goes. What she got? I mean, yeah. I think the question is obvious, right? I'm saying the young Kehanim you're sending around with this Meshuggah lady. I mean, I don't know if she's Meshuggah, whatever she is. Right? So they're saying how could she be Mizana with this? So the obvious answer that the Gemara is going to say, yeah, she's she was Mizana with them. Right? So
Didn't we say that by a nuzzer she doesn't uncover herself because it's sneers, but by a Sotah we do?
we do,
You're not
yeah. It's
worried?
coming up tomorrow's daf. Tomorrow's daf.
Yeah,
For the
we're
next
saying
day's
that
daf.
we are worried?
Oh, this is so apparent. Tomorrow's going to ask all those questions. Tomorrow's going to ask all those questions. Yeah, fine. So, okay, so that's what we're saying, that maybe she was Mizana with the Pirchei Guna. Ravashi Omar, Ravashi has different terms. Going to Nitzruchal in a Kver, she needed to go to the bathroom. Ta'atu Pirchei Guna, Bekipa Talula. Are the Pirchei Guna are on her head? She can sneak away to go to the bathroom. She snuck away to go to the bathroom. She was Mizana. Right? Even though she had the Pirchei Kahuna there. Okay. An interesting shaklataya right there. Rapapa Omar. Rapapa has a different shot in Rav Sheshes. Really, it's the way we said in the beginning. Right? That it's talking about that there were Eidim, that she was Mazana before she made the carbon hektish. So you say it should go out to Chulin because it should never have worked. The carbon should never have worked, right? If there were Eidim, Midrabanon, no, we say that the Kedusha, you're right, the Kedusha should go away from the carbon. Why? Because the testing would never have worked because there were Eidim that knew about it. But Gezeira Shema Yomrim Matzian Mikli Sharis L'chol, it's just the Gezeira Derabanon, because if you're going to now say that this carbon is puzzle, so then people are going to think that you could take carbonas in a klisharis, and you can take carbonas in a klisharis, and what do you call it? Then you could just lose its kedusha, right? So we're saying that that's a gezeira d'rabbanan, that we don't want that to happen. Really, the carbon is puzzle again, because since there were Eidim in the world that knew about it, so therefore the carbon is puzzle. So Mazar Amari nitmes minchas ad shalei kitcha bekli, if her mincha became tamei before it went into the kli, harei kachala minchas v'tifta. It's like any other mincha, and you have to redeem it, right? Since it became tamei, so you take the kedusha that was on there, put it onto another one, and then that one goes out of kedusha. Misha kitcha bekli. But once it becomes kaddish kli harei kachala menachas, it becomes like any other carbon mincha. But the sarvin has to be burned, right? So that's one shot. Kitcha kaimitz. Let's say you makadesh it with the kaimitz, right? You take the kmitza and you put it in, so that's how it became kaddish. You want to just tell your comments to get out of here? I might be like 10 minutes, maybe more. It's up to you, man. The guy is right here. Take care.
Jesse,
Sorry.
Ask him, give me $1. You can go over here in the back.
Yes, sir, Vara.
in honor of your family trip, which I've kept very quiet these last 6 lines, I would like to have a nice, fresh, juicy Georgia peach that you can bring back with you after Yontif.
It's a Shem, I'll bring some.
Buy it after Yontif in case there's a wax they put on it that's chametz.
I'll try to have that in mind, Liana.
Why what?
I hear they're gonna be yucky.
Why what?
He wants to buy a Georgia peach. Jesse's on the way to Atlanta. Yeah, okay, so that's one thing. Kiddush kaimetz. If the kaimetz became kaddish, meaning went into the klisharis, and they didn't have time to be makdish it until she dies. Right? Again, she died before this whole process. It's like any other mincha and it has to be burned. Right? Third case, karav kaimitz. If the kaimitz, they already will makriv that the kaimitz, the loy hispik lechol shirayim, and the leftovers go to the kayin and he gets to eat the leftovers. Until he dies or until she dies. The teichel, it's like all other menachas, and it could be eaten. Shala suffix bas mitchila, because the whole carbon came on a suffix. Kipra steak of a halchala. All right, but she had the kapara, right? And now there's no longer any sveikas, right? Meaning because one of the spouses died, he died or she died. So what was the whole point? Whole point was to figure out if the marriage is still viable. Well, the marriage is no longer viable because one of them died. So the carbon should be fine. Bola Edim Shehi, this is the fourth case. Bola Edim Shehi Tamei. If the Edim come and say that she was Tamei Minchasa Nisrefes, so then her mincha is silent. Minchasa Nisrefes. What's the question?
I have a vacant apartment that I rented out. It's vacant now. It's comments in it. I have to sell it.
Who owns it? Who's that client?
I own it. I did rent it out. Now it's vacant. I have to get all the addresses.
Oh, but you have an email with it?
I have an email.
You have an email with the addresses?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just email me.
Just email you that thing.
Text me the email. That's all. Just text me the email that it has like this if you want to see it.
Text the email address.
Yeah.
Should write anything else? Write down the email address.
Oh, you can write. Yeah, you do that too. Okay, good. Anyways, so bola edam shit me'em and chasen esraves, the carbon mincha is burned, right? Nimtza idea simon. Oh, so what happens? This is the I forgot. I lost the count. Fifth case. Nimtza idea simon min chasa chulin. But let's say that edim, but this is the ede yichud, or ede stira min chasa chulin. The mincha is chulin, right? Now, what do you see? But from all these cases, especially last case, if the Adim, meaning again, let's go just chazer over what happens with the lady. The husband says, don't be with this guy, don't talk to this guy, and she talks to him. Then she's caught alone with the guy. Now she has to bring the carbon sulfur. Then they find out that the Adim that said that she was alone with this guy were liars. So the carbon goes out to chulin. Didn't we just say we're making gzeira d'rabbanan, a carbon can't go out to chulin? It goes out to chulin. People are going to think that karbanos that have kedusha are out, are you could just lose their kedusha. So Gemara says, "Adam zayim kara, Adam zayim min kala isla." Everybody knows when people hear that. Do you hear about this case? Two Adam came and said that this lady was alone with this guy. She was about to drink the water. She brought the karbanos about to drink the water. They found out that Adam was zayim. That becomes a hak. All right, I would think. Yeah. And Mamela, since it becomes a haka tumult, and everybody's going to know the reason why her carbon became downgraded from no longer having kedushas because it's not it doesn't have any kedusha.
He picks up the pen. Just pick up the pen.
Tani Kavaseder of Sheshes, but lav mitame. Right, we have a brisa like Rav Sheshes, but not because of the reason that he's going to. Rav Sheshes said the reason that the Edom doesn't work is because of the pasuk, right? Because it says tahira, it says that she's tahira, right? The pasuk says tahira, right? And what was the whole pasuk on this again? Oh, this is going on. One second, the pasuk on the side. Doesn't bring it on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, Rashi brings it. Rashi says, let's say that this is what Gershon was referring to before. Let's say the woman doesn't become tummy. She passes the drinking test, right? She becomes tahira and she becomes clean, and then she's gonna have children. That's the puzzle. Minizra Zara. It's Rashi 6 lines up from the bottom. Right? So why does it say like nitma isha utahiri? Isn't that the same thing? Pasuk says if she's not gonna be tummy and she's tar, that's redundant. So what's the extra tahira coming for? And not, but it's not talking about where there's Eidim Medina Sayyam. Right? Utahira and Utahira, it says a vav, Veloisha Tulsala schus, and not by somebody, a lady who has a schus. Right? Meaning this this that she's meaning she survived it either because there's Eidim, like Rav Sheshes, or she survived it because she has a schus, but she's not going to have. And then it says he, and then people that hack about the moon, right? Meaning you have women who are not about the moon. They sit by the moon outside and they hack, right? So if they hack around this lady, then the drink doesn't work either. These are three reasons why the drink may not work. Again, because of Eidim, that there are Eidim somewhere, right? Like Rav Sheshes, or she has a schus, or because people are hacking about it. Right? So any of those three don't have, the water is not going to work for them. So you see beferish like Rav Sheshes, a brisa. You see beferish like Rav Sheshes, that if there are Eidim on the other side of town, on the other side of the world, and they know about it, the water is not going to work. Right? Those one of the three cases.
Everybody thinks she's guilty, so therefore she's putter. So then if waters are not going to work if everyone thinks she's guilty? The women are talking about how she's guilty. So therefore then it doesn't work?
Yes. If all the women are hacking about it, I don't know why women dafka, if men hack about it, it's the same thing. As long as the word on the street is that she's guilty, then the water doesn't catch. It's a Gemara later on, maybe a Mishnah, I don't know. It's later on in the Sefta that talks about what the pshat in this. But yeah, that's what it is. These are three cases where the water is not going to work. So you see that Rav Sheshes is right. The water is not going to work if there's Eidim to know about it. But it doesn't say anything about the pasuk. It's coming from a different pasuk. We're learning it out from the word tahira, right? There's three words that with darshaning, not words, with the word tahira, utahira, and he. Fine, but the problem is, what does Reb Shimon do about this? Reb Shimon disagreed with this, and he said that the Eidim don't help and the Schusim don't help. So he says, Nehi devav loy darish. He doesn't darshan the vav, right? But va'ika, you have the word on Tamar Aleph, Yeshla Eidim Medina Sayam. But what are you going to do? What's Rav Shimon going to do with the Yeshla Eidim Medina Sayam? Right? From the word Tahira. When it says Loy Shchicha, that's not common. Right? Which is changing the whole pshat here. Meaning, Rav Shimon is now saying that theoretically, if there would be Eidim, then the water wouldn't work. Right? But it's not very common that there's Eidim on the other side of the world who know that this lady was Mizana. Right? And therefore, it's so rare that we're not going to be worried. People are not going to be concerned and learn out from this that the water doesn't test the Sotah, right? And Tosfos points out the same thing with the husband being boil her on the way to the Beis Hamikdash. That's also not common. So therefore, that's the Sotah, the mime of the Sotah is not going to test it. Okay, we'll stop over here. It's late and I'm tired. Tomorrow we got to try and find time to move a little bit ahead. Daf Tesamad Aleph, Mamish has Tesamad Aleph today. Today was Vav.
It was as well, yeah.
Zayin Ches.
Tess is in Ksuvis, the big daf.
Daf Tes here. Mamish talks about the Dalet Koises. Second day Yom Tov stuff. Mamish talks about the Dalet Koises as a spoiler alert, but I don't think we're going to get there tomorrow. Okay.
What time
anyway.
are we doing tomorrow?
What time are we doing tomorrow?
Oh, you didn't post it? What'd you post?
What did
We
you do
didn't
last year?
decide. We can't post.
What's that? What time is Licht Benchen? Is not going to make the difference tomorrow. 7:00. 7:05. 7:05.
You can't go past lift benching. You could a few minutes. Okay, you probably could.
Oh, I mean, 6 o'clock.
By the way, can we talk about Naftali's got it down pat? We kept hearing him. We got to lift the pen, go up with the pen.
Yeah.
He's got it going on over here.
I hope he's gonna make a side. He's gonna make a side business.
Right.
He's gonna open. He's gonna open a shul.
Right. You got a little side hustle going on there, Naftali. I see.
Yeah.
Only helping. That's it.
Let's call it for 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
Mincha's called for 7:10.
7:10. That's okay. So 6 o'clock is fine. 6 o'clock is fine. It's easier daf tomorrow than tonight. And either way. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go. It's long. The dafim are long. It's gonna take us a while to get back to this over Cholamayim. Long dafim coming up. All right. Zagazim, everybody. Okay. Zagazim.
Safe travels, Jesse.
Can I ask you a ridiculous, Tyler?
What?
Can I ask you a ridiculous, Shiloh?
Yeah, I spoke to Rabbi Yamin today about you. But all right.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Ah.
wait till someone turns off the recording for that one.
Sign it.